again. Good afternoon, students. Today I will start with a new lesson. It is a life process. It is a life process. It is a very important concept in your syllabus. It is a very important chapter in your syllabus. Dear students, life process. So before starting that concept, start the basic. Dear students, we find this one is a living thing, this one is a non-living thing. Yes or no? How? On the basis of living things characters. On the basis of living things characters, we identify this one is a living thing. Correct or not? On the basis of non-living characters, we identify this one is a non-living things. With the help of characters, with the help of either a living thing or non-living thing, with the help of the characters, we identify this one is a living thing, this one is a non-living thing. Yes or no? You can see in the Earth system, several materials, several things in our surroundings. Some are living things, some are non-living things. Some are non-living things. How you find? On the basis of their characters. On the basis of their characters. Dear students, so first of all, we see that human beings are living things. How you identify? With the help of their characters. Human beings move from one place to another place. Human beings can eat the food. Human beings can grow. She can grow. Yes or no? With the help of their characters, we identify this one is a living thing, this one is a non-living thing. Dear students, we already discussed so many times in the last classes. You can see first of all in the Earth system, there are two types of the components. One is a abiotic component, another one is a biotic component. Especially, what do you mean by biotic? What do you mean by abiotic? Biotic, it means what? These are living things. These are living things. For example, animals, plants. Biotic things. You can take birds, microorganisms. These are biotic components. You can see another one, that is the abiotic component. That you say what? That is a non-living things. For example, water, air, temperature, soil, these are things. Just you observe, just you compare to the biotic and the abiotic living things to the non-living things. Lot of differences are there in between the living things and non-living things. Yes or no? On the basis of the characters we find this one is a living things. The plants do the respiration, so that's why this is a living things. Yes or no? The plants synthesize the food material, so that's why it's a living things. Means several activities are formed, and also human beings are moved from one place to another place. Who is a living thing? Human beings, it can respire. Living thing. So several characters are there, living things characters. On the basis of their characters, we conclude this one is a living thing. Tiger, cheetah, you can take any kinds of animals. All animals are living things. Yes sir. Dear students, living things can move from one place to another place. Living things can eat the food. Living things can respire. Yes sir. Living things do the excretion, digestion. Yes sir. Living things move from one place to another place. Living things can do the movement. Yes sir. So these type will be on the basis of their characters we find this one is a living, this one is a non-living things. Correct or not? Dear students, sound is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Clear? Okay. Now one question is arised. So you say what's a plant is also living thing, human beings also living thing, animals also living thing. But the plant cannot move from one place to another place. Correct or not? Yes, sir. But the plants do the movement. How? Do you know of you? Sunflower? When you observe the sunflowers, it do the movement towards the sunlight. Am I right now? Towards the sunlight. Towards the sunlight direction. Dear students, it is a sunflower. Okay, it is a sunflower. So it is a sun. See, the always the sunflower do the movement towards the sunlight. Towards the sunlight. This time. The sun is coming this side no, that time it will be rotated slowly. It show what the plants also do the movement. But the plant cannot move from one place to another place. Clear all of you? Clear all of you? Yes. Do you know what touch me not plant? When you touch the leaves, the time will be fold. The time will be fold. Why? It shows that touch me not plant respond to that stimulus. When you touch that plant, that is a stimuli. The time the leaves are folded, that is a response. So this type will be the living things are respond to stimulus. It is also character. When you beat one person, that time the person's showing this type. Yes or no? Why? You are beating him, that is a stimulus. The time he is doing this type, yes or no? It is a response. So this type will be the each and every organisms respond to stimulus. In each and every organism it will be grow. It can grow, it can eat, it can move from one place to another place, but not plants. It can do the movement. Which one? Living organisms. It means living things, but not non-living things. Clear all of you? Yes. Dear students, so these type will be, you can see the living things. How you find on the basis of the characters we find it, there is living things. Yes or no? You know already very well in the previous classes in the 9th and 8th standard living things characters. Now you see directly life process. So what do you mean by life process? What do you mean by life process? Dear students, all organisms perform same basic functions to keep themselves alive. Can take any kinds of organisms. All organisms perform some basic functions in their living time. The time they keep themselves alive. So in that time, the basic functions performed by the living organisms. The basic functions performed by the living organisms. To maintain their life. On this earth system, that is called life processes. So which thing have a life? That is a living thing. Which things don't have any life? That is a non-living thing. So almost all living things are depends on non-living things, but non-living things not depends on living things. For example, we are depends on water. Water is a non-living things. We are depends on air. air is a non-living thing. We are depends on soil. Soil is a non-living thing. We are depends on wind, temperature. The temperature is also non-living thing. Yes sir. Yes or no? But you can see the several activities, several processes in only living things, not in non-living things. Clear enough? Yes. Yes, students. The basic functions performed. The basic functions performed by living organisms. By living organisms to maintain their life. To maintain their life on this earth. On this earth. That is called life process. That is called life process. For example, which type of the functions in the living organism? Nutrition, respiration, excretion, digestion, control and coordination. Yes, sir. Reproduction. Yes, sir. So these type of things we can see in our bodies. We can see in the living organisms' bodies. The several functions are there. There's only one more time. The basic functions performed by the living organisms. The basic functions performed by the living organisms. What are those? Nutrition, respiration, excretion, digestion, control and coordination, and reproduction. So these are what? Basic functions. These are performed by living organisms. These functions are performed by the living organisms to maintain their life. To maintain their life on this earth. On this earth. That is called life process. That is called life process. What are those functions? Listen to me. Nutrition, respiration, excretion, digestion, control and coordination, and the reproduction. So these are the functions. So these basic functions performed by the living organisms. These basic functions performed by the living organisms to maintain their life on the earth. To maintain their life on the earth. That is called life process. That is called life process. All of you understand about the definition of life process? Dear students, all of you understand about definition of
Yes.
life process?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Dear students, listen to me. So these basic functions, when you doing these basic functions in our bodies, the time, the energy is required. How you get that energy? With the help of the food. With the help of the food. By consuming the food. Dear students, you can see in the earth system, the plants is a main source. The plant is a main source in the food. So that's why the plants are called what? Autotrophs. What? Autotrophs. Almost all organisms depends on the plants directly or indirectly. In the world, the one only the plant can prepare their own food materials and bacteria also, but not that much. Only the plants can prepare their own food materials. That food is necessary, that food is essential in all type of living organisms. Correct or not? Yes. So, dear students, the basic functions performed by the living organisms to maintain their life on this earth. It is called life forces. What are their basic functions? Nutrition, respiration, excretion, digestion, control and coordination, and the movement and the reproduction. So these are the main basic functions in our life. These are the main basic functions in our life. So these main basic functions need energy. These main basic functions need energy. If you take the oxygen, the time energy is required. If you release the carbon dioxide, the time energy is required. In the process of the digestion, energy is required. Control and coordination, in the time also energy is required. Respiration, energy is required. And reproduction, energy is required. You can see in all functions it depends on energy. So energy is depends on food. Clear all of it? Clear all of it? So we are also fully depends on plants. Yes, some directly or indirectly. So when you eat the food, the time you get the nutrients. What? Nutrients. What are those nutrients? Carbohydrates, fat, lipid, minerals. Yes, some protein, water, and the vitamins. Yes, sir. So these are the nutrients. We get the nutrients from the food. From the food. So these nutrients provide the energy. Yes, sir. We are also depends on that nutrients. We get the food. The time from the food we get the nutrients. The nutrients provide the energy. With the help of that energy, we perform these functions. Without energy, we can't do anything. Without food, we cannot get that energy. So without plant, we cannot imagine our life. Correct or not? Yes or no? It is a circulation system. So we directly or indirectly fully depends on the plants. The plant is necessary and the plant is essential to the all type of living organisms. Correct or not? Yes. The students see this type of the nutrition, respiration, excretion, digestion, control and coordination, movement, reproduction. These all functions performed with the help of energy. We get the energy from the food. The food has the nutrients. These nutrients are coming from the plants. So that's why directly or indirectly fully depends on the plants. Fully depends on the plants. Clear? Okay. The energy is needed for the life forces. Energy is needed for the life forces. So that's why the energy is essential and necessary for basic functions for farming purpose. Yes, sir. Next, food is a kind of fuel. Food is a kind of fuel which provides the energy. Which provides the energy to all living organisms. Do you know what fuel is? Yes or no? As you are saying, the food is a kind of fuel. Food is a kind of fuel which provides the energy to the all type of living organisms. So energy purpose, we are fully depends on food. Food is equal to either maybe that is a plant product or animal product. But almost all organisms depends on directly or indirectly to the plants. For what purpose? For food purpose. So food is a kind of fuel. Food is a kind of fuel which provides the energy to the all living organisms. Provides the energy to the all living organisms. Clear enough? Clear enough? Okay. Yes. Dear students, all of you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, students. Next one is food is a kind of fuel which provides energy to the all living organisms. Next, see the nutrition. Nutrition is a process. Very important concept. Very important question. Nutrition. Nutrition is the process of intake of nutrients. Intake of nutrients like what are the see the types of nutrients: carbohydrates, protein, lipid, and the minerals, vitamins, and water and roughage. So these are the types of nutrients. Nutrition is a process, the intake of nutrients, intake of carbohydrates, intake of fats, intake of protein, intake of vitamins, intake of water. So intake of nutrients like this is by an organisms as well as the utilization of these nutrients by the organisms. So that is the nutrition. Dear students, we already told you. So we consume the food. In each and every food contain one type of nutrients, minimum. Clear all of you? Either may be protein or lipid or fat or vitamins, water or carbohydrate. Anyone? Yes or no? So nutrition is what? Nutrition is a process of intake of nutrients. Intake of nutrients like carbohydrates, fats, proteins, minerals, vitamins, and water. So these nutrients, water by an organisms as well as the utilization of these nutrients. That is called nutrition. It is called nutrition. It means when you consume that nutrients, the organisms consume the nutrients. Then utilization of that nutrients within the bodies. Yes or no? It is a nutrition. It is a nutrition. Dear students, you can see the nutritions, the mode of nutritions. You can see the two types are there. One is autotrophic nutrition and another one is the heterotrophic nutrition. One is the autotrophic nutrition, another one is the heterotrophic nutrition. Let's see. Now see, auto. Auto it means what? Self. Auto it means what? Self. Where the one and only the plants can prepare their own food materials. So that's why the plants are called what? Autotrophs. Even some bacteria, especially blue green, alias like some bacteria also prepare their own food materials, like a cyanobacteria, but not this much. Okay. See students, autotrophic. First of all, we understand what do you mean by autotrophs. Which things can prepare their own food materials with the help of the raw materials, with the help of the raw components, with which organisms it can prepare their own food materials. That type of organisms are known as what? Autotrophs. For example, plants. In the world, one and only plant can prepare their own food materials with the help of the carbon dioxide, water, and the carbon dioxide, water, and some minerals, as well as the sun, by using the sunlight and in presence of chlorophyll pigment. The plants can prepare their own food materials, and plants release of food in the form of glucose, and also it produces another byproduct, that is what? Oxygen. So that's why we are fully dependent on plants. We want oxygen, the plants provide oxygen. We want glucose, we want food, The plants provide the glucose that food. Yes, sir. The plant is necessary. The plant is essential for surviving of the all type of living organisms. Clear? Yes, sir. So, dear students, autotrophic nutrition. Auto it means what? Self. See, autotrophic nutrition is that mode of nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition is the type of mode of nutrition in which an organisms makes or synthesize its own food from the simple inorganic materials. From the simple inorganic materials like a carbon dioxide, like a water, in the present in the surroundings with the help of the sunlight, the plants can materials. The plants absorb the carbon dioxide with the help of that special part that is the stomata. It is present in the base of the leaves. We can see that small pores, that is what? Stomata. In the stomata, you can see that guard cells. With the help of the guard cells, with the help of the stomata, the plants exchanging the gases. The plants exchanging the gases. In that time, the plants release the oxygen and absorb the carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide is essential, is necessary in the photosynthesis process. And also the plants use the water. The roots are absorb the water. Yes, sir. Do you know root system and shoot system? The roots are absorb the water with the help of the root hairs. Yes, sir. Already understand in the 9th standard with the help of the epidermal cells. The plants absorb water. By using that water, by using that carbon dioxide and several minerals, the plants, and also with the help of the sunlight. With the help of the sunlight. The sunlight means that is a solar energy. This is sunlight. When the sun is releasing light, the time is emit the photon also. Photon is nothing but light. There is a light energy. The energy is present in the form of light. By using that sunlight and also in the presence of a chlorophyll pigment. The chlorophyll pigment is in green color. It is a pigment. It is very useful in the preparation of the food, in the photosynthesis process. By using that carbon dioxide, that water, with the help of that sunlight, in the presence of the chlorophyll pigment, the plants can prepare their own food material. It can prepare their own food materials. So that process is known as what? Autotrophic nutrition. You can see in the semester that there is a photosynthesis process. Yes, sir. So this is, you can see that reaction. Okay, C6 CO2 plus 6H2O plus light energy in presence of chlorophyll pigment. Okay, the plants get carbon dioxide from the environment, from the air. Yes, sir. No? The air is mixtures of composition of several gases. Yes, sir. That time plants absorb the carbon dioxide with the help of the stomata. Plants absorb the water from with the help of what? Root hairs. Light energy. It easily visible in the house. Chlorophyll is already present in the leaves. Yes, sir. By using these things, these raw materials, the plants produce that glucose, food material in the form of glucose, and also produce that oxygen. Produce the oxygen. So this is about that autotrophic nutrition. Dear students, okay, I'll continue next class, autotrophic nutrition. Thank you so much. Bye. Dear students,